think there's some moisture in the spreader. Alright guys, today's project, as you can see I got the spreader in the shop. Apparently with the way this was sitting outside, it was sitting so the tongue was uphill and it filled up with water. And last night we finally got down below freezing again, and the ground was hard this morning. And as you can see, inside the spreader has all kinds of twine. When you buy a piece of equipment, you buy all the crap with it that's stuck inside of it. So the plan is to get all this twine and net wrap out of here. The net wrap, I don't know if that come from mine, but I doubt it, because a lot of this twine is wrapped around the outside of the net wrap, and I haven't used plastic twine in many years. Normally I always use the sisal twine because it would decay. But I bought this from some people that I custom round bale for, and I have a feeling the net wrap was in here beforehand just by the way the twine's wrapped around it. And a lot of it's big square bale twine. So, and I don't feed big square bales very often, so it's definitely not from mine. But what the project is here, I'm gonna cut all this twine and crap out of it, and then if you can see a bunch of these paddles inside there are bent. I'm gonna try and straighten those out the best I can, and then I'm gonna get a measurement on them, and I might go down to the steel place on the other side of town and see if I can't get some metal sheared to weld over top of them, to try and prevent them from doing that again. It would sure help with how fast it unloads, because it doesn't like to clean out being all the paddles are bent. And the other project is going to be to drop, or actually raise, the hitch right here, which is actually going to drop the front of the spreader, so that will also hopefully help it unload faster. Because right now when it's on the 6400, the back is quite a bit lower than the front of the spreader, so I'm hoping I'm going to drop it down to the bottom holes, and raise this front part up as high as I can get it. And then hopefully that'll tip the front of the spreader down enough that it'll help that unload faster as well. Then I need to pull this PTO shaft out and take a wire wheel to that and clean that all up. I can't hardly slide it out. I'll try and get that cleaned up and re-greased so that slides in and out nice, get it all greased. The chain's all oiled. Yeah, that's kind of what the project is on this. So I don't know, I'm going to try and let all this water drain out of it first, so it's going to be a couple hours before I actually get to it. But as you can see, this has a belt drive on the beaters. Check that tension on that belt and oil all these chains. Those, I'll do that once I get it hooked to the tractor so I can turn the PTO on, get that all oiled up. But I'm going to get it greased before it goes back outside. So yeah, that's what the project is today. And this evening, try and get that mess out of there. I can't imagine why it doesn't want to clean the spreader out when it's so built up with twine right there that you can't even get to the door. So yeah, that's what I'm working on today. So I'll record as I go along here. Alright guys, so as you can see, I got the majority of them straight and a lot of the stuff is cut off. I have a little problem. I ran out of acetylene in my torch, so now I'm gonna have to wait till Monday before I can get acetylene, because the place I get it from is not open on the weekends. But as you can see, it's pretty much all cut off. There's a little bit right there, and there's probably enough in the torch yet that I can get that. Yeah, I use a torch for cutting the plastic. It sure beats a knife or a sawzall or anything else. And then I gotta try and fish that crap out from underneath it. I don't know if I can just hook it to the tractor, go out and turn on if it'll get it out or not, or if it just wrap back around. So I'll try and get some of that out. But I got a little bit of a story about why most of these are bent. And apparently there was ice in the bottom of here one winter and they tried turning it on. And that's what bent the paddles. So I don't know if I'm going to weld anything on the back of them right now or not, or just see how it goes, because I'm not going to spread frozen manure. And once I get this all cleaned out, it's going to sit in the shed so it doesn't get full of water and snow. So anyways, yeah, as you can see, that front one up there, that one was bent really bad. And now it's straight. You can see how where I heated up. So hopefully that will help it spread a little bit more uniform out in the field. But getting this other crud out of there will help it clean out too, even without the paddles being straight. All that twine and stuff built up on there, that just keeps the auger from deflating from being able to fill up with manure, so hopefully that'll work. But yeah, so I'm kind of on hold until Monday. I got it all greased up. You can see I was using the crescent wrench and the hammer for straightening that out. I just took a wire brush, cleaned all the dried up grease off this PTO shaft, and now it slides in and out nice. As you can see, I put oil on there. I do not put grease in those, because all the grease does is dries up and then causes the issue that we had. So I always put oil in them. I do not put grease in them. Everything else is greased, so I just need to put oil in the chains once I get them out of here. So yeah, I was surprised all the grease zerks actually took grease. Some of them were a little hard in the beginning, but we got it. So now all I have left is to move that, and I'll do a video, or I'll record while I'm doing some of that or whatever. But anyways, yeah, this is what it's looking like so far. Yeah, I use a torch for cutting the twine. If any of you guys remember my spreading videos, I've talked about how I kill spreaders every year, so it means I bought a lot of manure spreaders. And normally when I get them, they look just like this, full of crap. And I've used a Sawzall, I've used a knife, I've used everything, I've used scalpels. The fire wrench works the best. It doesn't get dull, it keeps going until it runs out of fuel. So that's how I do it. But I'm probably going to have to try and spin this to try and get some of that stuff to the top, and then I'll try and grab it and get it off there. Like I say, right in here I need to make sure that's all cut. And then I didn't get to the front. I noticed the torch was running out of acetylene, so. But I'll try and get that stuff, and then try and spin this PTO shaft and get that stuff upright, and then try and throw some of it out of here. So that's where it's sitting right this moment. There you guys, I'm getting a little carried away here. I'm working without recording. Try and set you guys up here somewhere so you can see this. I did get all the bolts out and it's moved to the next holes. I'm just starting to put it back together. Hopefully that will lower the front enough that it'll clean out better. So the rest of these lined up. probably be standing right in the way. You won't be able to see what I'm doing. See if I can't put you guys here. I had to reach into that tongue, get them washers and nuts on the back side. Now, turn your volumes down because it's going to get loud. Downtown, Charlie Brown. So, get back in there so I can move it this over. Together. There you have it. So now hopefully, once it's on the 6400, it'll be tipped down enough in the front that it'll clean out better. I want to run the 4020. The 4020 drawbar is, I think, about an inch lower than the 6400, so it should clean out even better with him. Let this back down. So, then drop this down as low as it'll go, so it'll continue to drain out the front. There's still water and stuff in the inside of it. Yeah, hopefully that'll work. It'll be a lot easier to hook at the track now with the PTO being able to slide in and out. So, I guess I'm just gonna upload this video the way it is, because it's, like I say, it's 3:30 now, and I'm not gonna be able to get any acetylene until Monday. So I'm just gonna try and get this stuff all cleaned out of it and run it the way it is. And if nothing else, what I may be able to do is just get some 2" by 1/4" flat bar maybe and weld on the back sides of these this way at a 90 to the paddle. Maybe that'll stiffen it up so it won't bend again. But I'm gonna run it and see if they bend first. If they bent because they had ice in it, well, if I don't run it with ice in it, maybe they won't bend again. So I'm gonna try it the way it is for right now. And regardless, I don't have any 1/4" by 2" flat bar here anyway, so I'm gonna try it the way it is. And it's gonna get parked in the shed when I'm done. I have a spot and lean-to opened up for it, so it's gonna go in there so it doesn't sit with water in it all the time and rust out even faster. So yeah, anyways, we're gonna roll with it. And it's supposed to be, this morning when I come outside, the ground was froze on top. It wasn't froze very much, but they're saying that next week, I just come back out to the shop from replying to some comments and watching some videos that some of you other guys uploaded, and it says that next week, I think it was Wednesday night or Thursday night, it's supposed to get down to 13, and then every other night next week is below freezing, and then the daytime highs are very low 30s. So hopefully next week the ground will be hard enough that I can haul manure out, excuse me, without making ruts. That's a big thing when you're doing no-till. You don't want to make ruts that you're going to have to deal with or try and repair with tillage. So I don't want to go out on muddy ground and make ruts, although where I'm hauling this, I am going to do a little bit of tillage next spring and do some repair work to it. It's been messed up ever since I used to do tillage. The disc I had left big ridges everywhere, and now with the mud and everything the last couple years and the cattle being out there, it got really rutted up. So I am going to do a little bit of tillage in the center of that field, but I don't want to do any more than I have to, so there's no sense in going down on muddy ground and making a big mess. So if it gets down below freezing this week, that'll be perfect. That way I can haul manure, like I say, next week. I guess it's Friday right now, but next week hopefully we can start hauling manure out, get the shed and everything all cleaned out before winter. Yeah. So yeah, that's what happens when you don't pick up your twine strings and your net wrap. Like I say, I bought this spreader from a neighbor, and apparently they didn't like picking anything up. Just a pain in the butt. So anyways, it's all cleaned out now. With mine, every once in a great while, if you're taking net wrap off the bale, sometimes you'll miss a slice all the way around the bottom. It'll start pulling apart and you'll miss some net wrap, but usually you don't leave all the net wrap off one whole bale in a pile. So yeah, it should take a long time for I ever have to do that again. What a pain in the butt. Anyways, guys, so it should hopefully be ready to rock and roll now. If I had more acetylene, I'd try and turn it. I know this back paddle here, or flighting, or whatever you want to call it, really should be straightened out too. But it's really rusted on the side there. Like, there's not much left of it. That one I'm probably gonna have to make a new flighting for it. Just because you can see it doesn't really clean. I mean, it doesn't it doesn't pull the stuff down and then pull it forward. So I'm probably going to have to replace that one. But I'm going to run it the way it is, see how it works, get this crap all cleaned out of it. And then there are a few more bent ones on the bottom. Once I get those to the top, I'm going to try and straighten them out. And like I say, I won't be hauling manure till later next week anyway, so this will probably sit in here till then, get all this stuff cleaned out, get that rotate around, get them other ones straightened out after I get a settling on Monday, and then we'll go try it. And if for some reason they all bend again, then I guess I'm going to try and find something to weld on the backside of them to stiffen them so they don't bend, and get a piece cut that'll fit that, and then cut the arc out in there, or the radius, cut that out of there so I can weld a new one on the back, and we'll go from there. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Please comment, rate, subscribe, stay tuned for more. Should be plenty more videos coming, I guess. So we'll catch you guys on the next one.